What's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Power Season 6, Episode 3. So was anybody like me when they played the original theme song and even that sounded strange? I was like, did they change it again? But then I heard Joe and I was just like, no, this is the original. And then I was like, is it? Why did it sound different to me? Is it just that I had started to get used to the old Billy Goat Trey, these last couple of weeks? Anyway, it was 50 Cent's debut, his directorial debut. I actually thought he did a pretty good job. Had some over-the-top dramatic moments in there, but for the most part, it had 50 Cent all over it. So I thought he did pretty good for his first shot at it. That's it, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? Opens with Dre. Dre is still stressed. His nostrils are still flared. His baby won't stop crying. Why the feds talking to him like he crazy? Donovan has absolutely no patience for him. He's not understanding why Dre is nervous, I guess. But then it starts to make sense, when Dre is trying to calm the baby down, and Donovan was like, look how you holding her. Are you ready to, have a baby and take care of a baby? It's a lot that comes with it. Can you give him a little slack? He trying to be a witness for y'all, and you guys are treating him very hostile. Like, what is this? But whatever. When we finish, you testify, then you're gonna be on your way to witness protection. All right, but you can already tell that Dre in his nostrils is not really feeling this. Okay, to make matters worse, when they about to leave to go testify, there's somebody at the door. Okay, and Donovan was like, who the fuck is that? He calls out to his boys like, what's your 10-4? What's your 9.0 or whatever they call it? And the guy doesn't answer. Well, next thing you know, a guy comes in, blows up, shoots through the door and just comes in guns blazing. Now, it is one man. Maybe it wasn't one. It sure felt like it was one, but it was a couple of men, still not as many as it should be against all of these federal agents. Okay, of course there's this big shootout. Everybody gets shot except for Donovan. Okay, actually Donovan does get shot, but not fatally wounded, but pretty much his whole team is wiped out there. Okay, Donovan still had the baby. Andre was like, give me my baby, give me the baby. It's clear that Dre does love his baby. It's just that Dre just got his foot in a couple of other things as well. But whatever. Like I said, Donovan and Dre make it out without getting killed. And, Donovan afterwards is just like, can see that Dre is thinking about running. And Donovan was like, don't do it. As I got a daughter at home as well, and, trying to give him some uplifting words when you was just talking to him like he was crazy. And Dre was like, yeah, you kind of wanted to bitch ass niggas out there, that always finish last. And well, I guess he meant what he said when he shot Donovan dead right there. I was like, ooh, okay. And it was so right in your face and everything. Like I said, it had 50 Cent written all over it. The slow motion, the very abrupt scenes that we'll continue to talk about. But yeah, 50 Cent for sure. That damn Dre runs with the baby, and he's in the station, and he gets picked up again by the federal agents. Okay, not so fast. Now at the same time, we see Overly Dedicated talking to Proctor's wife, trying to get some shit out of her, rude as usual. I was like, these people really don't know how to get, you get more flies with honey, baby. While he's talking to her, he finds out that Donovan then went and got his ass killed. Okay, now this is pretty much a whole team. If I was Overly Dedicated, I would start thinking about and second guessing, because if they coming for everybody, that mean that you eventually gonna be on the chopping board. They're telling him that it was the Jimenez, y'all know I have a hard time saying that, the Jimenez cartel, that they got caught up in some crossfire. Not really sure if this is connected with Valdez and St. Patrick. Overly Dedicated, he believes that everything is connected to James St. Patrick, even though it is. But still, there's no reason for them to think that. And he just loves to pin everything on Ghost. So the boss tells him, listen, you better figure out if this shit is all connected. I know that Alicia Jimenez better not walk on my fucking watch. So Extremely Dedicated goes and talks to Dre in his nostrils, and again, you can imagine that Dre in his nostrils is a little nervous. And Overly Dedicated was like, what's been going on? What was all that about? And he was like, I should be asking you the same question. Like, aren't you guys supposed to be protecting me? He says, well, we're going to protect you as long as you testify. Well, Dre got a hair up his ass now. He was just like, I'm not doing it. And, well, you don't really have much choice as far as Overly Dedicated is concerned. Okay, get ready to tell. Now we jump over to Governor Tate. Okay, in another abrupt scene. Oh, he's fucking this girl. All right, from the back, the angle is like right, in front of her face. It's all this. I was like, oh, Lawrence Tate. Okay, just a little mini, teeny tiny, but he still is sexy, you guys. So I enjoyed that little scene, and somebody calls from the DNC and they're saying how much they're, loving him and how they see so much promise in him. And of course, he's talking to them on the phone while he's having sex with a girl and she's giving him a blowjob and all of this or whatever. Later on, we see him get to his office and turns out she's one of the aides or one of his staff members there that he is fucking. So you can see where there would be a little conflict of interest there, right? On top of that, his assistant that he hit in the eye last week, he's a little salty. Okay, got this big black eye and he ain't got too many kind words for Mr. Tate. She's trying to tell him, you need to move on. Governor Tate did apologize, or Governor to be Tate, and all of that. But I was just like, oh, you shitting where you eat, Governor Tate? Okay, never smart. Now, while he's there, this Ramona chick walks in, and evidently she is part of the DNC, who's actually come down to kind of help him clean house and, see where he can cut costs so he can get more money, just kind of cutting away the fat. So she fires half of his staff, and then she asks him about James, like, who is James St. Patrick? And I know he want to say a pain in my motherfucking ass, but he can't say that. Later on, we see him talking to James, and James wants to know why the project hasn't started yet. And Governor Tate is just like, because he out of fucking money. And James was like, didn't they approve it? And he's like, listen, this is the way it goes. There's nothing I can do about it. What do you want me to do? So James sees old girl out in the office, and he was like, well, who is that? And that's Ramona. She's with the DNC, and she there. She gonna do this, that, and the other, and whatever. Okay, I saw the way James was looking at her. I said, oh, James is gonna be fucking her. But I give it about 2 more episodes tops, and he will definitely have her in his bed or in her bed. James was like, you better get this money together or else, I'm going to blow up your whole campaign. And, Governor Tate was like, I'll get it fixed. Just go on and leave. Go out there and why don't you try to secure some money yourself and go out the back door. We don't need Ramona seeing you just yet. Now, let's jump over to that idiot Tommy. Tommy got Keisha with him. He done brought her to the whole operation. And even his team is, even though they dumb, they smart enough to know that you shouldn't be bringing, your woman to your operation like this. She's not really sure that she's ready for all this. Oh no, girl, you ready? This is what you wanted. Remember, this is you and Tommy together forever, okay? His team is real excited about all this money that they making him. They show him the money in the room, and Tommy was like, fuck, that's a whole bunch of money that I gotta clean that I don't have a way to clean. Well, they was like, listen, we just make the money, that rest of that is on you. But remember, that was why he had Ghost and why Tommy is not going to be able to survive on his fucking own, because he don't have them brains that Ghost had. But you wanted to be big time all by yourself too, Tommy, right? All right. Now let's jump back over to Overly Dedicated real fast. I forgot to tell you guys that he goes and talks to Alicia Jimenez and her lawyer. And, he's always trying to just kind of play his cards to make people feel nervous. But again, you're dealing with somebody ahead of a cartel. You really think that they shaking their boots like that? Okay. He's telling them how, they got this witness and they were like, man, we are going to tear Drake apart on the stands. Okay. He will not last. All right. But we're not going to even do that. We're going to try to get this whole thing dropped. And let her go on to Mexico and let her go to jail in her home country. What do you say? Okay, either we gonna go to court and you gonna lose, or you gonna let Alicia go back to Mexico. And of course, Overly Dedicated was like, nothing doing. I forgot to tell you guys that part there. Anyway, back to Tommy. So Tommy needs money cleaned. And, Tasha was his money cleaning girl. Him and Tasha in the car getting high real fast. And, She's telling him about her money problems. You know, he was just like, well, you know, I'm gonna tell Keisha, you know, that you need to go back to the shop and, you know, work, so, and then she can also clean the money for him. She was like, you know, Keisha ain't gonna go for that. So they're trying to figure out something else that they can do while they're talking. Tommy gets a text from Jason. He wants to meet him. Okay, oh shit, I gotta go meet with my connect. All right, so when he goes to meet with Jason, Jason tells him how it's a problem that Alicia Jimenez is still alive and how that's going to cause a war and it's going to create all of this mess. So you need to go and break Alicia out of jail. Okay, now she's under federal protection, not witness protection, but she's under, you know, lock and key. Ain't nobody just letting her just go like that. And he don't really have the people in there to get her out. Jason don't care. Get the bitch out, bring her to me. Not only does he tell Tommy that, but he also tells Ghost that. All right? I'm thinking to myself, like, Jason is really, he is really doing the most by playing these two against each other. He doesn't know, but I think we can all see that eventually Jason is going to meet his demise because Tommy and Ghost in some kind of way are going to end up linking back together, if only to just take his ass out. It seems a little obvious, but I kind of also, it just feels like that's what's going to happen. But I have heard that the show by the episode 6, I think they said it's going to take all these crazy turns. So we'll see. But yeah, Jason is still playing the hell out of both of them. And he tells them both that he's going to waive the payment, you know, for 1 week, you know, if they do what he tells them to do. 1 week. Okay, yeah. Jason's asking for it. Now, Tasha, she rushed home from her little weed session with Tommy, and her mom is at her apartment, and she's watching Tasha's little girl and as well as 4 or 5 other little kids. And Tasha gets an idea from that, like, wow, she's, you know, watching these kids, she getting paid for it. Tasha needs some money, you know, you see the little light bulb go off in her head. I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but we'll find out later. Now we see Tariq is at school, and child, I feel like I missed something somewhere, but all of a sudden the black girl who was telling him that he shouldn't be doing what he's doing, now all of a sudden she's full on drug dealing too. I was like, what? In 1 week? What happened here? What did I miss? But I guess little girl is all about it. What's her name, y'all? Do y'all know? I said, this is moving along too fast here. Something's gonna happen. Now we see Overly Dedicated. He's talking to an extremely annoying detective, and they're trying to figure out, you know, if this Jimenez shit has anything to do with Ghost and Angela. You know, Overly Dedicated was like, you know, she had all this shit, you know, set up with Dre, unbeknownst to him. Not Tasha, Keisha, what's her name? Tamika didn't know nothing about it. You know, it seems that Angela had her hands in all of these pots that nobody knew. That's because none of you guys know what the fuck is going on down there. How many times do I have to say it? They're trying to piece together how James might be, you know, the one, but even extremely annoying detective says that, well, you know, if that's what it is, if that's the case, then James St. Patrick would have no motive to kill Angela Valdez if they were all in it together, because that's what it's starting to look like. But oh no, Overly Dedicated can't hear no talk about that, okay? It's all on James St. Patrick, and he gonna get his ass. That's why I keep telling you guys, Overly Dedicated, his days is numbered. Now, later on we see Tasha. She's having dinner with Tariq and her little girl. I don't know what the little girl's name is, I'm sorry. But listen, they eating Chinese food out of the boxes. I was like, we couldn't even get no paper plates or nothing. I mean, they have them at the Dollar General. You ain't had to get fancy and get hefty and nothing like that. But, you know, they eating their Chinese food. You know, we ain't got a fucking light on the first. I mean, damn, can you turn on some shit? I guess you're really trying to cut back, you know. Tariq is complaining about, you know, the dire home that she's living in. You know, she's saying that he could spend the night on the weekend because the baby is gonna be going with the daddy, and he's like, you know, I can't fit in that little bed, you know, and he just might as well just be like, this is some bullshit, you know. But she was just like, listen, times is hard, I have any money, Okay, once I start getting some money, then maybe things will change. And he was like, oh, how much you need? And he puts a big stack on the table. I said, you are so fucking stupid, Tariq. Okay, you couldn't leave that shit in the front of their door and make it seem like somebody dropped it there and let her. I mean, you was gonna give it to your mama. You knew your mama wasn't gonna take it. She was like, where you get this money from? Oh, it was from Canaan. If you don't get that shit off my table, what you need to do is just go and pay the bills. Okay, just go and do it. That's how the drug dealers had to do for their mamas who was too proud. They needed the money, but they didn't just want to take it outright. You just go handle the shit on your own. But he don't know yet. He'll know in the future, you guys, because he's definitely training up to be just like his daddy. Speaking of his daddy comes there. And he was like, Tasha, why you didn't tell me your son was in the city? Okay, why aren't you at school? He came by there to tell her that he can't take the baby this weekend. Okay, and she's upset about that. Like, you know, you ain't taking the baby. You ain't giving me no fucking money. Okay, what's the problem? All right, he was like, why are you living in this old rat, infested place? She was like, listen, when you give me some damn money, maybe I'll move. But obviously this place ain't good enough for you or your damn son. So how about you take him back to the penthouse? And she leave out. So it seems that they did actually go back to the penthouse. Okay, next morning we see James talking to Tariq. Tells him that Tommy is not dead, and when Tariq doesn't respond the way that he thought he did, he's like, how long did you know? Okay, and well, Tariq already knew that he wasn't dead, and Ghost tells him, listen, I need you to be on my side on this. You my son, okay? I can't trust Tommy right now, and if you're gonna be with him, then I can't trust you either, and Tariq is like, it's okay, I got you, Pops. Gives him a hug, like, okay, I'm gonna be on your team. Something tells me, though, in a pinch, if it did come down to Tommy and Ghost, I think Tommy thinks that Tariq would choose Tommy, but Tariq is gonna choose his dad every time. Okay, I'm sorry, I see that one coming as well, don't you? And then when Ghost leaves to go to work, Tariq goes into Raina's room. That's where he has the drugs stashed. I remember the drugs that he got from, the pills that he got from Canaan. I guess nobody would think to look in there, would they? But all he has is one bag left. He's like, damn. Okay, what you gonna do now? Didn't he make some sort of deal with the Italians that he would get some, drugs from them? Whatever happened with that? So he goes back to school and he distributes them between, the new Tasha and the new Tommy. And it's less than before, they just like, what are we supposed to do with this? And he was just like, just sell those and I'm going to get more later. Don't you worry about it. Now, James, he's getting pretty desperate here. He goes to Proctor and he tells Proctor that he needs, the when and the where is Alicia Jimenez's court trial, because if he don't get her, break her out, then he is going, well, no, he didn't tell him everything. He just said that he needed to know, because if he don't find out, then that's going to be his ass and he going to be dead. Okay, when Proctor was asking what's going on, he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, no. Okay, well, get that information to me with the quickness. And then we also see Tommy come and basically tells him the same thing. All right, Proctor is already afraid of Tommy because he thinks he's fucking crazy, which he is. And so Tommy tells him the same thing. We need the where, the when. Okay, we're going to break him out of jail. Break her out of jail. I said, yeah, that Jason is sure enough running them. When Ghost leaves from there, he goes to lay his little charm on Ramona. It's going to take a little time, but what woman wouldn't be charmed by a good-looking man such as Ghost in his own club, as he stands behind the bar with all of these elixirs of the sort behind him? You can already see that the shit can go down. Now, they talking to each other, and, he's kind of saying that they have a lot in common. And she was like, oh, on the contrary, I've done some research on you. Is it true? And then he has to come a little bit clean, just a little bit. Okay. Says that he was innocent, it was a trial, the blap, the bloop, the blop, and all of that. Okay. But the bottom line is here, he's making her a drink. You're going to get her real comfortable, and then after a couple of days, around each other, he gonna have her in the bed, like I keep telling you guys. Now, remember that good idea that Tasha had, I told you guys about? Well, it seems that she wants to open a daycare center, okay? Get a storefront, her and her mom will split the profits, and the mom was like, I got one better, okay? Retirement. If you work shit out with your rich-ass husband, we wouldn't even be going through this. I said, that mama is something terrible. Don't you see your daughter trying to get out? Well, she's not really trying to get out the game. Okay, but she is trying to get away from that jackass James, and that mama just The mama's just over all of it. And speaking of the St. Patrick family, Tariq is at the school, he's drinking with his friends, and then Tasha number 2 comes in the room, and she wants to talk to Tariq, and he was like, y'all got to get the fuck out. And his roommate was like, Tommy number 2 was like, I thought this is my room too. He said, not right now, get out. Okay, so they get out, and he sits down with the girl, and the girl is like, well, what's the matter? You've been kind of moody, and he tells her, how he feels alone. She starts to tell him how she lost her brother, and immediately the antennas went up. I said, Tariq, don't you be sitting up here running your damn mouth to this girl. Now, you don't know this girl. All right, don't you think it's really convenient that all of a sudden she's all in your operation like this, and now you sitting up here about to tell her about your sister, and oh no. See, Tariq still don't know. We know, but he don't know. So I was just like, now the girl might be on the up and up, but she might not be. Okay, so why you sitting up here about to start telling, he about to giving her, she about to gain his confidence, and the next thing you know, some shit gonna go down, you guys. I can see it coming. But anyway, he talks about his sisters, his twin sister. He feels alone, that she's gone and all of that. And, she tells him that she's there for him. So you can see where this is going again. That girl might be bad news, y'all. Might be bad news. But whatever, he tells her he's running out of pills, that, the connect that he had is dead, and now he don't really know what he's going to do. All right, so he still hasn't incriminated himself yet. I mean, he has, of course, because he's selling drugs. But obviously, they want the bigger fish. So they're going to just keep on giving him enough rope, you guys. Keep on giving him enough rope. That damn James is going to end up fucking in jail by the end of this season, be behind some shit that Tariq did. Watch. He going to have to take the fall for his dumbass son. I see it coming. I see it coming. Now, jumping back to Tommy, we see him and his team. They trying to plan out this whole hit on Alicia Jimenez. I can't believe he's actually trusting them to do this, but we got to get her. We're going to bust her out, whatever, okay? At some point, she's going to be in the ladies' room, and they've got to be able to snatch her then. They're not quite sure how they're going to be able to do this. And then in walks Keisha. All right. And hey, Keisha, we need you to do us a favor. Okay. Next, we see Keisha walking slowly into the courthouse. I'm assuming this is the day of the trial. Okay. She looks real nervous, even turns around like she's not going to do it. Then she was like, nope, I got to do this for my man, Tommy. This my man. Okay. So she walks on in. It's a whole lot of moving pieces right here, okay? Dre and his nostrils, he gonna be confessing, all right? He's at the courthouse as well, obviously. Ghost is there, which is ridiculous. I mean, for him to take that kind of chance, Ghost is very recognizable. I don't give a fuck if you got a hat on or not. If you just get a good look at his face, you're going to see just the beard alone is going to give him away, But he's there, and I guess his plan was just to run up and snatch Alicia. What the fuck you was doing, Ghost? Stupid. We see Alicia, they're carrying her to the courtroom. She sits down, she drinks some water. Then we see that one of the guards in the courtroom gets a text message that he just got deposited $10,000. Shortly after that, we see her start choking after she drank her water. Obviously, she's been poisoned or just enough to get sick. And, now we got to rush her to the bathroom. Okay, so this is where Keisha comes into play. I don't know what Keisha did exactly, but she's hidden in the ladies' room. Maybe this is probably to let Tommy know that she was in there now. Her guards come in the bathroom, check the bathroom to make sure it was empty. There's one stall that says out of order, so obviously they don't have to check that one. And then they let her go in there. She goes into a stall, she's throwing up. And then Keisha walks out, all right? Ghost sees Keisha. All right, he's seeing all this shit going down, and he's just thinking to himself, like, well, this is already an operation going down, and ain't nobody involved me in nothing. So he's just looking at everything. Dre in his nostrils actually saw Ghost when he was there, recognized him and everything, because like I said, he's very recognizable. I don't know why nobody else has recognized him, considering he's like public enemy number one, which is, anyway. Ghost goes back out to his car. Evidently, Tommy's team comes in as paramedics. They're going to rush her off to the hospital. They come in as the paramedics, get her in the ambulance. And then Ghost, who's sitting in his truck, who's been outsmarted, outwitted by old Tommy. Tommy sees him over there and just kind of tips his hat like, yep, we got her. And we don't know what happens in between them leaving there or whatnots, because, you know, he had police escorts with him at one time, but well, I don't know what happened. Next thing we know, we see her, she's coming to, she's under a Valium haze that Jason has given her, and Jason wants to know her whole operation. You know, give me places and people and connects and drugs and, you know, all of this. And she was like, can I have a smoke? And he was like, sure. Okay, so she gets her cigarette, honey. She laid back and she was just like, what I will tell you is go fuck yourself, okay? The people who did this to me, they're going to turn on you too, okay? Okay, well, Jason, that's not what he wanted to hear. So, you know, bow, bow, and, you know, shoots her in the head and the right in here, you know, just blows her away. Again, 50 Cent all over it, all right? And, yeah, Alicia's dead. Tommy was just like, what the fuck? I mean, if you was going to kill her, what you had me go through all of this for, bringing her here and everything? And Jason was like, yeah, because I wanted to do it myself. You know how it is. And he was like, is that why you told Ghost to go and break her out too, to see if, you know, our beef was going to get in the middle of this? And Jason was like, ah, ha, 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 touche. Okay, you knew what I was doing, huh? But great job, Tommy. Okay, you did it. Ghost didn't. Now, Ghost goes back to Proctor. He's mad that Proctor told Tommy about Alicia and the breakup, but Proctor was like, I don't give a fuck. Tommy is crazy. Okay, he was here. He killed somebody in my apartment before. I had my daughter here. Like, I couldn't give no chances. All right, so that's what it is. All right. Jason texts Ghost while he's there and was like, you didn't get Alicia, you know, so bring me my money now. I said, oh yeah, you know, Ghost don't take too well to orders like this, so it's getting bad. Proctor tells him, you know, if you need money, then you know where to go. Okay, insert Simon. I said, oh, Ghost. Man, is it that bad that you had to go back there? And of course, Simon is just like, oh, Ghost, an old friend. You know, Ghost pretty much has to grovel because he needs this money. But then at the last minute, he kind of feels like maybe he ain't gonna do it. But Simon was just like, no, we about to do this. We gonna be back in, you know, business together. I'm looking forward to this new project, you know. And Ghost really can't afford to turn Simon down. We see Governor Tate, he's having a conversation with his team. You know, Ramona's there, and in walks James. Okay, and Ramona finds out, amongst other things, that James is going through a divorce, you know, and that him and Tasha right now are not kind of in a position to be like the happy couple, you know, supporting Governor Tate on his mission right now. He's going to have to do it alone. But oh no, that's not going to work. That's not working into their narrative. So they have to sit down with Tasha as well. Okay, Natasha get there, and Tasha's already done with, you know, pomp and circumstance. She ain't got time to be faking the funk, none of this. Okay, she told Ramona, oh, you look familiar. Oh yeah, you the one that got the divorce. Your man was cheating. He couldn't keep his dick in his pants too. Okay, Tate, let's cut all out the, you know, the extra fine and all of that. Just get to whatever it is that you want me to do. Okay, they want her to play nice with James. Oh no, we're not doing that. All right, and they were like, well, is there any way that we can make you do it? Well, yeah, she needs some money. But on top of that, hey, give me some permits. I want to open a child daycare. I need licenses, permits, you know, building inspections, all of this. All right, and right when Governor Tate looked like he's going to turn her down, Ramona was like, we will get it done. Okay, Ramona's a woman that can make it happen, you guys. Oh yeah, Ghost gonna have her soon. Tommy takes it on home, and I guess they're celebrating the fact that Keisha was able to call him and tell him that Alicia was in the bathroom. Oh my God, I've never done anything like that, you know, Tommy. And he was just like, yeah, you did good, you know, but he can't celebrate too long because, damn it, he's got all this money, he's got to clean it. So he looks, we might need Tasha to come back in. Oh hell fuck no. Okay, Tasha ain't coming in. You want to do it through the salon, that's fine. I'll do it myself. I know how to do it, okay? And you don't have nothing else to do. I don't want Tasha nowhere near my man. He was like, fuck that bitch. I started laughing. Yeah, say that to Tasha's face, Tommy. Then we see Overly Dedicated go and tell Andre that Alicia Jimenez is dead. So, you know, we don't need your testifying no more. And not only that, you don't have a deal that you had no more. You can go on and go, but we taking that little girl. You know, he starts to tell him all this shit. He's not gonna have his child, and you know, unless he goes on to give him something to so that they can get James. And you know, Andre in his nostrils was like, I saw James at the courthouse, and Overly Dedicated was like, you really think he'd be at the courthouse? Like, I know you desperate and everything, but listen, you go on and think about what I told you, And keep in touch, okay, and be safe on them streets. But lastly, you guys, we see Ghost at the penthouse. You know, he's pouring himself a drink. He's, you know, it ain't no fucking lights nowhere. And he calls Tommy. You know, Tommy, what the fuck are you doing on my phone, motherfucker? Ghost was like, me and you need to hook up together, if for anything, than to kill Jason, take his ass out. Like I said, Tommy don't want to do it right now. Okay, that's because Tommy's ego is in the way. But eventually they're gonna get tired of this bullshit. They're not gonna have no choice, you know, because Ghost had to remind him, I'm the brains of this operation. Tommy was like, you don't have no people with you. That's why you was at the courthouse by yourself together. He was like, that's okay. I didn't get caught now, did I? I was there fully bearded out, hat on and everything, and nobody noticed me. I'm the brains of this fucking operation. You need to come on and get with me. Well, Tommy ain't gonna do that right now, but he will eventually. If his ass want to stay alive, he will. But instead, Tommy tells him to go fuck himself, and you know what? Next time you see him, he gonna cancel Christmas. So fucking corny. Tommy, you ain't killing Ghosts. I mean, you done killed your girl and your daddy for Ghosts. I don't see it ever happening. All right, rock stars, that is it. Let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.